reason, Haman has tricked King Xerxes into issuing an edict to annihilate all the Jews in the land. In this cutting, Haman is unaware that Xerxes' beautiful queen is herself a Jew and is related to the hated Mordecai. My name is Wes Durden, and I'm from Killian Hill Christian School, and I will be performing Esther, Star and Scepter by Ginny Andrews. The king of all peoples was having a sleepless night. Was Haman right? Did Esther twist people to her point of view? She was magnificent today. What courage! What spirit! She was still the most beautiful woman alive. But Haman's words casting doubt on her loyalties came back to his mind. Suppose Haman had his own reasons for turning him against Esther. For one mad moment, Xerxes wondered if Haman had designs on the queen himself. No. Haman would not dare lift his eyes that far. Who to trust? His queen or his grand vizier? He paced the room and tore the bedclothes from off the great bed and demanded fresh ones. The head eunuch, Harbona, made suggestion. Might I suggest, sire? Suggest something! Let the daily book of events be brought and read to the king. Xerxes snorted. Ha! All right, Harbona. That should be boring enough at this hour. Send for the scribes and chronicles to read them. If anything should lull me to sleep, that should. Xerxes settled himself on the freshly made bed. Two sleepy scribes entered in, carrying tablets. Where shall I begin, great king? It doesn't matter, just so that it isn't too recent. The scribes began reading detail after detail of boring palace life and court procedure. The droning was just beginning to make Xerxes drowsy when he heard, "This plot to kill the king, even the plot of Bigthan and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, keepers of the door, was discovered and reported by one Mordecai." Xerxes was wide awake. Read that again! The scribes complied. Parsa! Those traitors and Mordecai, what did we do to reward him? Nothing is recorded, sire. Are you sure? The other scribe peered carefully over the first shoulder, shaking his head. No, your majesty, there was no reward made to this man. A disgrace! The king was out of bed again. My honor is at stake. We are committed to reward anything done for us. Anything at all. This man saved my life. I must attend to this at once. Dawn was filtering around the edges of the thick curtains. Who is in the outer court, Harbona? Harbona looked and returned, masking his displeasure. The grand vizier sighed. Haman! Or wasn't he? Why hadn't he told him that Mordecai had gone unrewarded? Such things were his business. Admit him. Haman, carefully groomed, had arrived as early as possible to petition the king. The gallows was nearing completion. Pointing straight for the sky, it was shining in the first shafts of the sun. All that was needed was the king's permission to execute Mordecai. The Jew. He had been admitted to the presence at once. A good omen. Smiling, he presented himself before Xerxes, his hand touching his lips. Good morning, Lord Haman. You were here early. If it please the king, I am happy, and the honor given me yesterday and today, for I am ready to do whatever the great king requests. Good. I need an idea from that fertile brain of yours. Haman was chafing to proceed with his request, but that must wait. Anything I have is at your disposal, Majesty. What do you think should be done to the man whom the king delights to honor? I knew it. The queen's pleasure has opened every door to me. What shall I choose? What will give me the final accolade? I have it. May the great king live forever, and for the man whom the king delights to honor, let them bring out a royal robe, which only the king is worn. Xerxes looked sharpened, and the horse which only the king is ridden, and on whose head a royal crown is set. Let the robe and the horse be handed over to one of the king's most noble princes. Let him array the man and conduct him on horseback throughout the open square of the city, proclaiming, "Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor." But Haman had been mistaken. Later in the courtyard, Haman spoke to the king's great horse, who stood still. He held out the robe of the true purple, which only kings wore. Mordecai recognized that particular robe. Xerxes had worn it in Esther's coronation. Grimly, Haman draped it around Mordecai's shoulders. To the amazement of the gathering crowd of courtiers, Haman took the reins and began to lead the horse. He opened his mouth. Everyone strained for an explanation of these strange events. But no sound came. He tried again. Thus shall it be done. He braced his shoulders and cried aloud, Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor. They headed out the gate and down the grand staircase into the city square. A fresh detachment of immortals had quietly lined up along the staircase and down the road. Louder! Snapped the captain to Haman. By the great king's orders! People were running now. The news traveled. Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor. Ripples of laughter began and swelled. Men ran to their houses with the news. People appeared on the rooftops. Cheers of Mordecai! Mordecai! Praise to the Lord! Mordecai built a crescendo of acclaim. Thus shall it be done. Long live Mordecai! In the crowds and on the rooftops were many of Mordecai's Jewish friends. Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor. 2 hours later, Haman, tired, dusty, and demoralized, brought Mordecai back to the king's gate. Mordecai had said nothing the entire time. Now dismounting, he took off the gorgeous robe, silently handing it back to Haman, who had no choice but to take it and move off with the horse. Moments later, Haman was seen hurrying through the courtyard, his face completely covered with a thick veil. Haman's friends, having seen his degradation, flocked to his house, some to commiserate, and others to gloat. White and shocked, Haman's wife Zeresh met him at the door. The practical Zeresh was trying to get things straight in her own mind. What did this mean? Haman, Grand Vizier of the Empire, humiliated by the king in such a way? Xerxes made rulers, and he deposed them. He was capricious. But such a reversal to the man second only to himself? She picked away at the threads of the problem. What have you done? What stupid thing have you done to get yourself out of favor with the king so suddenly? I know of absolutely nothing. There must be something. Think! Why was it Mordecai he honored? The king did not say, down Haman, up the Jew Mordecai? Zeresh's unease increased. Haman. There was fear in her voice, for she remembered the edict. If this man is a Jew before whom you have begun to fall, you will not prevail against him. You're finished. Before Haman could answer, there was an imperious summons. The king's eunuchs to escort Lord Haman to Queen Esther's banquet. Mentally, Zeresh prepared her private escape route.